Hey everyone, Miss Dempsey here. I have an interesting video for you today, but first I just want to say I hope you all liked the previous two videos I posted, which is the final race for the GR Super GT Cup and the finale music video that went along with it. But anyways, let's go ahead and get on today's topic, which I'm going to call the No Penalty Challenge. For those of you who don't know, or just haven't done a race in this track, which is Tokyo Expressway East Outer Loop, it can get pretty messy, and this more or less applies to all the Tokyo Expressway tracks since there's different variations of them. And part of what makes this track difficult is there's no room for error, so if you make a mistake, you end up going wide, you're going to hit the wall. There's no runoff area, there's no grass, like in Nürburgring or in any other real life circuit, unless if you're in Monaco. But there's basically no runoff areas, and you'll be hitting walls if you don't know what you're doing. And that happens to pretty much everyone, including me. Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at two different races I took part in here. So this one being the first one, obviously, and we'll be in the Huracan Group 4. For this one, I'm going to have the clips run a little shorter because the next race that I'll be showing is where all the interesting stuff happens. So let's first talk about this car. So the Huracan Group 4, this car's fast, and the other nice thing about this car is that it has the grip. So if you're going through the main straight and there's someone ahead of you, you can get the slipstream, so your car will be going really fast. And when you're going through the twisty bits, this car will take care of you just fine. This car does get a little understeery since I think this one is a four-wheel drive. So if you slow down a bit more, just adjust your speed and the way you enter a turn, then this car will take care of you. So this car, the Huracan Gr 4, it's definitely one of the top choices for this racetrack here for this Daily C combination. The other one, which is where all the juicy stuff happens, which I'll be showing in the next clip, is the Bugatti Veyron Gr 4. So that car is absolutely quick, it's stupid fast. And that one, you don't really need too much slipstream to be flying down the main straight. You don't even need any slipstream, and you'll already start catching up to someone else who also doesn't have the slipstream. And if you get the slipstream in the Veyron, then you're going to be going even faster, which is absolutely awesome for the main straight over here. But when it comes to the turns, it gets a lot more understeery, so you have to adjust a lot more. You have to go a little bit slower through these turns, so that way you don't end up hitting the wall, unlike the Huracan. I know one of the other top choices that people have been using is the Aston Martin V8 Vantage, but unfortunately I didn't really get a chance to mess around with that car. I know it's fast, especially if you're getting towed by someone, but I'm not too sure how it is in the turns, so I'm not going to comment too much on that one. So going back on comparing the Veyron and the Huracan, I like to compare these two cars as difficulties. Difficulties when you're playing like a single player game or like a cooperative multiplayer game. You have easy, medium, hard. The Huracan is pretty much easy. This car will take care of you, it's fast, it basically has everything that you need. Just adjust a little bit when you're going through this track in the later laps, and this car will be just fine. And of course here I understeer a little bit. But with the Veyron, down is basically playing on Deathwish, so much harder than hard. Because the thing is that the Veyron, as I mentioned, it understeers quite a bit more than the Huracan, and that becomes a huge problem in the later laps. I'll show you what I mean when I get to that clip. But I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through here because not much happens. Alright, so we're about to enter lap 4, and actually on the end of the straight on lap 3, Eric kind of just snuck up on me as he was slipstreaming me, and he had a bit of an advantage over me, but now it's the other way around. I was behind him, so I was able to get by going just a tiny bit faster. Eric is going to try and see if he can pass me and try and see if he can potentially secure the inside line, but there's not enough time, so I can hold on to the inside line, brake just in time, and he goes a tiny bit wide, but I'm able to get a much better line through here, and the same thing is going to happen over here. He ends up going just a tiny bit wide, taps the wall, and I'm able to make a getaway from here. And let's go ahead and fast forward it a bit more, just because nothing really goes on over here. And that's pretty much it for this first race. Nothing else really happens after I got away from Eric. And yeah, I was just having a nice quiet race. This car was able to hold up on its own, and it was able to smoothly navigate through the twistier bits, which is very lovely. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at part 2 of the no penalty challenge, and it's going to be on Deathwish with the Bugatti Veyron Gr 4. Alright, so here we are in the second race clip of the day, and hello to you Tyrannosaurus Rex, it's great to see you in this race. But okay, Bugatti Veyron Gr 4, changed my things over here because I'm using the replay system. And okay, so we're going to try and keep an eye on a couple things. We're going to keep an eye on a couple of the people who are around me throughout the race, and we're going to keep an eye on the tires because I want to compare how my tires are doing versus the tires of the other cars. And let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Veyron once again. This car is really fast, so I'm already getting ready to start pulling away. So the cars behind me, they're going to have a bit of a harder time trying to catch up to me. But when it comes to the turns, this car, I mean, as Jeremy Clarkson said, it feels like you're driving a mountain because you really are driving a mountain. Have you tried stopping a mountain? It's going to be hard because over here, I tried stopping and this car is already going wide. Have you tried steering a mountain? It's going to be really hard. That's what it feels like. But can a mountain go fast? Yes, it can. And well, we'll see it when we get to the main street. But anyways, I'm already hitting a wall. The car is already understeering like crazy, so I am already having a bad feeling about this race. Alright, and we're hanging out behind this guy over here. He was the one who was first place in the last race, and I have to really be careful right here. This chicane has death written all over for it for me, whoever's in the Veyron, whoever's in the Viper for some reason, because this car just likes to understeer a lot. So you have to be really careful when you're going through it. You have to go a lot slower compared to the other people. Here I accidentally blocked this guy, so I felt really bad for him. So I was like, okay, let me just move out of the way so he can get going, because I mean, he's going a lot faster than me, and it'd just be wrong for me to block him for any more time than I already was doing by accident. And over here I brake late and I go for the dive bomb of the day. Very nicely done. I go a little bit faster so he doesn't hit me, and we change positions back. I felt a little stupid because I'm like, okay, this guy's probably going to think that I don't know what I'm doing with this car, and I wasn't. Okay, I was trying to know what I'm doing, but yeah, it was a little stupid of me. I flashed my emergency lights, and I do this crazy thing by using the turn indicator to signal that I'm actually changing lanes because I want to pass. Take notes, because I mean, some people don't really need to do that. So he's gonna go ahead and go a bit behind me because obviously I'm going a lot faster. He's gonna try to get a bit of that slipstream, and he's going to be able to secure the inside line for now. And I don't want to try anything stupid. I don't want to squeeze him out, and I have to brake just a little bit earlier. But I was in the racing lane, so I have a bit better of a turning advantage here, and I take advantage because he was going a bit slower, and job well done. I am back in second position, and here I'm going to see if I can try to catch up to first place. I'm going to try to speed down through this section before I approach the chicane, because that's where I have to really slow down, and hopefully the guy behind me knows I have to brake a little bit early because I am driving a giant mountain over here. I tapped the wall twice, so I'm going to have a bit of a disadvantage, and this guy over here, he is getting the gain on both of us. He just comes in out of nowhere. A challenger appears, and overtakes the person behind him very nicely, very easily, and he's going to be on an attack on me very soon. Alright, camera back on me, and when it comes to me doing these races, I try not to pay attention too much on what's going on behind me. I mean every now and then I'll take a peek at how far the person behind me is, but I try my best not to let that get me scared or anything. Alright, so we're taking a peek at first place over here, taking a look at how his tires are doing, and his tires are obviously doing a bit better than mine. I mean, you can already see the wear on the front tires, especially the front left tires, so I'm going to be struggling a little bit whenever I have to turn right. And this guy over here, he seems to be doing a little bit better in terms of tire wear on me. Fuel is not an issue for this race because we don't have to stop for fuel or anything. We don't have to even do any fuel saving, so we're kind of just going all out. The only thing we have to keep an eye out for are the tires. And you can see over here, he's getting a really great gain on me. He's going 165, 166 miles an hour. He's still going even faster than that. And I can hear that he's coming, so I'm going to go ahead and bring myself over to the outside line because I don't really have anywhere to go. But he ends up slowing down just quite a bit, and he kind of just ruins it for himself. And he's going to see if we can try to squeeze in, and not really. So he's going to hang back in fourth place. And third place ends up tapping the wall a little bit. So now I have two people hanging out behind me, and I want to see if I can try not to let that phase me, try not to get that to force me into an error, because I know if I make an error, especially in a car that is the size of Mount Everest and weighs like one, then that's going to spell trouble for all of us, because I'm probably going to end up taking all of us out. TSA over here, he ends up getting a better exit and easily passes me before we enter this turn over here. And this guy over here, he's getting a gain on me. And once again, just take a look at how his tires are doing compared to mine. My tires are already starting to expire a bit faster than his tires are, and it's probably going to be the same story for TSA just ahead of me, since they're both in the Aston Martin Vantage. And yeah, I'm going to be struggling a lot more, especially in the last two laps, because once again the car understeers quite a bit. And with the front tires, whoa, where did this guy come from? This guy just came in for the dive bomb of the day. He's trying to take that trophy from me, and in a moment I'm going to see exactly what happened. And it looked like he braked late and was trying not to punt anyone, but he ended up getting side to side with me, and luckily nothing really came out of that. It probably helps that my car weighs like 1,000,000 pounds, so I guess the Veyron has a couple of its uses. And I want to see if I can try to catch up to second place. This is where my car really shines. I can try to go as fast as I can. So we're already getting ready to reach 160 miles an hour right about now, and we're still going to be going faster and faster. And I'm going to be slowing down just a little bit over here just because we're going uphill. And you can see I'm already going 166, 167 miles an hour, so I could definitely see if I could try to get the pass on him. And I wanted to see if I can get any further in before I have to start to brake, and I have to brake a little bit early because once again this car weighs so much, so I have to be careful about where I brake so I don't end up in the wall or end up taking out anyone with me. But unfortunately I was not able to get the overtake done, so I'll have to wait until we get to the main straight so I can initiate an overtake. But I'm over here, I'm going faster and faster, and the other thing is that because I'm getting the slipstream from the guy in front of me, I'm getting the dirty air, so I'm not going to be getting as much grip as I want. It's going to cause my car to understeer a little bit more. I end up tapping the wall, and my tires are already in the worst condition. The other Aston Martin, he gets an overtake on me. He doesn't even have to try because I'm going much slower than him. And I'm just trying to be a bit more careful through here. And let's go ahead and fast forward it to what happens next. Alright, fast forwarded to the 7th lap, the final lap, and one of the Aston Martin drivers got a small penalty, so he just served that. and I'm hanging out with this Aston Martin driver, and there's another driver that joins the party, and because I'm at a disadvantage as we approach this chicane, I have to slow down and try to squeeze myself in. But here comes the problem. I'm going much slower through here because I had to squeeze myself in and my tires are just not having it. There's a Huracan hanging out right behind me and I already feel the pressure, and I try to go through this turn but I end up understeering and the Huracan hits me and I'm already at a disadvantage. I am not in the racing lane. I end up hitting the wall. 5-second penalty. I end up getting hit twice by the Lamborghini because he had nowhere to go. I just don't know what I'm doing anymore. Get a 10-second penalty, 2 more collisions. They hit the wall and I end up getting a 20-second penalty. Oh my goodness. I absolutely failed the no penalty challenge. So let's take a look right here what happened. So I end up understeering into the wall and just look at the disaster that unfolds right here. I just caused a chain reaction of crashes and bumps with these 2 drivers over here because they had nowhere to go, and it just gets absolutely messy. And I feel bad for the Huracan driver because he just absolutely had nowhere to go, and he absolutely got the short end of the stick within him and the GTR driver. And of course I get the shortest end of the stick because I won a 20-second penalty, and I'm going to serve that right now, and it's going to be the longest 20 seconds of my Gran Turismo career right here. I'm just watching these drivers go by. I'm going super slow and I'm just here like, oh gosh. And there goes my friend Tyrannosaurus Rex. He's probably wondering what the heck happened. And yeah, it's just absolutely awkward. And yeah, I had my whole race absolutely destroyed within the span of like 15 seconds. But I mean, I'm not even mad because I knew this was going to happen eventually. I was playing with fire by using the Veyron, which understeers a heck of a lot. And unfortunately, after I think it was like 10 races I did with the Veyron before I recorded this one or saved the replay for this one, I finally got burned. And it was a gigantic burn. All the fire just went up in my face. And yeah, stuff like this happens. You just gotta try to come back from it, and that's when I did the Huracan race, which I showed first, just to try to recover some DR and SR. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't do the mistakes I did. I hope you guys learned something new. Hope you guys found this entertaining. And yeah, this is Mr. MCA, the world's most okay player, telling you not to hit the wall and get a 20-second penalty. And I'll see you in the next video.